I'm from a small village called Broseley in Shropshire, so early 70s. Slade were local, the Sweet, that guitar. Top of the Pops, it was Whole Lot of Love. Zeppelin was the theme tune. So you're hearing that dead end, all that guitar, and you're like, well, that's kind of what I want to do, double bass drum kits and crazy shaped guitars. I'm in. That's what I want. I was a drummer, yeah, and then because your first band, everybody wants to play guitar, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm the drummer then. So I was into that, because I was always tapping and stuff. But then, when Napalm they needed a bass player, I just said, I'll have a go at doing that. Some of my friends were just happy with a particular few bands. I was always into like faster, heavier, So you get the Sabbath, Thin Lizzy, Priest, Saxon. And I was like, wow. And then of course Venom released Welcome to Hell. I was like, this is it, Then Slayer comes out, then Metallica, and then I started tape trading with Bill Steer from Carcass. Back then he was in few bands. So all these demos from the States were coming out, like Exodus and Death. And then just progression goes. And then, I did my own first band called Warhammer. Then I met the Napalm Death guys, and then it was like Napalm Death is my favourite band. And then I joined Napalm Death, and it's just like, boom. The heavier, the faster, and that's it. Our guitarist in Napalm Death, John, is a little bit younger. He grew up on Napalm Death and bands like Converge, so for him, he got into other stuff. And there's this spiraling thing, like Anil Nathrak, for example, Friends of mine from Birmingham, like completely much faster than Napalm, crazier in some ways. And I think it's endless because, of course, now you get into extreme drum and bass and things mix together, which is natural, and it should be that way. So I think it's probably going to go more insane, and it should, really. Well, I think if you're into an extremity, heavy music, it's a release for a lot of people. Everybody needs something to escape, But at the same time, and because you have these escapes, I think generally as people, there's a goodness in there, which, sometimes. My mum always used to say a weird thing, really, strangely enough, because she would work with a few people who did heavy music, and she always found them the coolest and the most down to earth people with the kindest hearts, because you're sort of doing, you're getting rid of your frustrations through literature or metal or punk or whatever. Growing up in a small village, you're picked on, you're bullied, and these things happen. But if you're into stuff that really is different, the chances are you're going to get picked on even more, And so there's a bond there, You see someone who's into metal or punk, that, it takes balls to do that kind of thing, And so when you fall down, you pick them up. That's really how it goes.